Hey kids,
Hello.
welcome to another episode of Bad Pop Song.
Woohoo.
The journey where we take you on this magical carpet ride of, as you so beautifully put it in the last episode, pop culture cringe.
Okay.
Yes. I will of course get back into discussing my favorite cringy pop songs, but you know, I've been really on this kick now of like reviewing movies. So
and your insight is very valuable.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. Yes. So I am Bo.
And I'm Dan.
Yes.
Hi there. Hey, you know what you should do?
Yes. What should we do?
You out there should go to badpopsong.com. Go see some previous episodes, listen to Bo's music, read his rantings and ravings about films and other things, and just drench yourself in the Bo.
There's a lot of Bo on there. You know?
It's all Bo, all the time. It is your Bo station or something. I don't know. Go there, badpopsong.com.
Absolutely. Please. Also, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
And click that little button that says subscribe and stay tuned.
Oh yeah,
more stuff.
You definitely won't be sorry. Again, we were away for we were on a little winter break, so but you know the sun is shining. You know it stays light out a little later, so it's so yeah, we're kind of back in the swing of things. So thanks for hanging in there with us. And so yeah, we're gonna talk another movie.
Yeah, what are we talking about this time?
We are gonna talk about a little supernatural horror.
Ooh, spooky.
Yes. This is Blumhouse's latest film, and this is probably their most successful blockbuster this year. It is doing extremely well in the box office. It is still in theaters, and it is called The Woman in the Yard. And it's gotten some mixed reviews.
Oh, okay.
I myself liked it quite a bit.
Okay.
And it stars one of my favorite actors, Danielle Deadwyler, who I had talked a lot about around the fall after Toronto. She was in the piano lesson, and her performance in that was just outstanding. But anything she's in, she is absolutely outstanding.
And you should check your phone because I have a feeling your camera's doing some goofiness. There we go. Now you're back.
It was, I guess it picked up my hand gestures or something. And
who knows?
Saying, do things with your hands. And I'm just like, well, okay.
Oh, yeah. It might be one of those built-in Apple things. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there you go.
So, oh, how fun.
Festive.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Yes, Danielle Deadwyler is the star of the film. She from Till to the piano lesson, to, you know, The Harder They Fall, she 40 Acres. I mean, she's every performance that she gives is just outstanding, and she shows so much depth, and yeah, she just feels very different in every film that she's in.
Okay. Very talented then.
So yeah, no exception to Woman in the Yard. She is just absolutely fantastic in this film. And I would love to talk about it.
Is she the titular woman in the yard?
She is not the woman in the yard.
Ooh, spooky.
She is not the woman in the yard.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about this. What's the general gist without giving anything away?
A widow is alone in her house with her two children. and they live out in a farm,
Okay.
and a woman in all black, just head to toe, with the sheer covering over her face,
The veil.
is sitting in this antique chair. She just shows up in the right there in the middle of their farm.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yes, and it's weird. About a few minutes into the film, you hear the son say the name of the film. He's like, "There's a woman in the yard." And then I just sat there and I just thought, "Hi, he just said the title."
He said it. He said it.
Yes. So the film is very appropriately and obviously titled. There's nothing like obscure or ambiguous or unclear with that title of the film. So.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that is pretty much the gist of the film, and it all just sort of takes off from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other wackiness ensues.
It's not. It has some jump scary moments. It's not one of those. It's. I wouldn't say it's not one of those. Bloody.
It's not a gore fest.
Oh yeah, it's not a gore fest. But there's a jump scare here, there too. There's another scene when her other kid, her young daughter, says, she's closer to the house. And that got me. I was like, whoa. I was like, where is this going? So
all right.
Yeah.
So it's definitely playing more towards an eerie atmosphere.
Yes. And there's a lot of just isolation and of just being in the house, just the three of them, and there's tension and everything, and you also, she's a widow, so they're all grieving too.
Okay.
So with that combined with sort of the tension, and because the son is very anxious to do something about it, to actually go out there and deal with her. And Ramona, who Danielle Deadwyler is playing, Ramona is basically telling them, do nothing, we just stay here, she'll eventually
move on. Yeah.
So there's that,
assuming she's human.
So yeah, that sort of builds with the tension too. And Ramona actually goes out to talk to her.
Okay.
When they first notice that she's there, but she says some very unsettling things. The woman says some very unsettling things to Ramona.
Okay, so that's why she goes and hides everybody in the house.
Yes, and she's keeping it all from them too. She's not like telling them what the woman said.
How old are the kids?
Son's teenager.
Okay,
and the daughter's probably the third grade.
Okay,
second or third grade. So yeah. So yeah, teenage son. Young daughter.
Sounds fascinating.
Peyton Peyton Jackson and Estella Kahiha play Taylor and Annie, her children. Great performances by both of them.
Awesome.
Most of the film is just the three of them, and of course the woman in the yard, who we see more of as the film goes on. So yeah, go ahead. More questions.
Okay. So is this? So since it is such an eerie film, is it a very slow build for the entire thing? Is it akin to like your Japanese, Korean, just sort of weird, sort of creepy stuff?
There's not a slow build.
Okay.
I don't think. Because the in between the escalations with the woman in the yard, there is that tension in the house that I mentioned.
Okay.
That sort of you sort of you get a feel of Ramona's mental state,
Okay.
you know, because not only is she grieving, she also has her own issues of where they are, where they've ended up, where she's at in her own life.
Okay.
So you sort of get a sense of her mental state, and there's she has some sort of creepy visions and things like that. So
Okay.
and then of course there's tension between she and the teenage boy, because he wants to go out and just go off on the woman.
So in reality, this is more of a character exploration of this family,
yes,
and really how events have affected them. They just have not dealt with any of them.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. Yeah.
So the woman in the yard is sort of the catalyst that forces them to confront these things.
Yes, definitely. That sums it up quite well.
That makes it interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not just, an hour and a half of a woman getting closer to the house. That would be weird.
No, because they eventually have to. She gets inside, so which is something that just seems obvious.
Yeah, and then the running begins. Yes.
But yeah, this is definitely something I don't want to give too much aware the plot, because it's important to just actually go see the film.
It sounds like there's some twists and turns in there that you just don't want to give up.
But I will say it does not only is it a good supernatural horror film, it's good in that genre, it also deals very well with dealing with grief, and just having to just move on, and sort of living with guilt and that sort of thing. Excuse me. It does a really good job at exploring that. So, and just also coming to realizations with things about yourself that you don't necessarily want to
you don't want to face.
You don't want to deal with, so it does a really good job at exploring all of that.
That sounds cool.
I will say the director, I think this is probably one of his better films. I think he's from Spain. His name is Jaume Collet-Serra, and
easy for you to say.
He brought us. You probably remember The Orphan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he brought us the Unknown, which is the famous conspiracy thriller with Liam Neeson.
Okay.
And he's I mean he
likes to screw with your mind.
Yeah, he gives us lots of thrillers and horror films. Like he did A House of Wax, and so yeah, he is but I definitely think this is one of his better works.
Okay.
And again, it is as far as Blumhouse Productions, it's been a hit for them. It's done well at the box office, despite its mixed reviews. So.
Yeah. So why do you like it while other people don't?
I think people were just expecting it. I think people who are critical of the film were probably just expecting it to be more jump scary and not a gore fest, but yeah, just more less maybe less psychological. They
A
probably
little more edge of your seat tension.
yes, more edge of your seat tension. It. I think they wanted more of that mainstream sort of horror that you would find in the horror genre, but instead there's more sort of character analysis and uh, again sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not what they were expecting.
Yeah, they were there. It does. It. There's more surrealness, I think, in it than I think than the critics of the film were wanting.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot more thought going into it, maybe, as opposed to just setting up the next scare.
Absolutely, you're right. That's all that, and I think that's one of the things I loved about it because to me, it still had all that supernatural horror stuff, some jump scare stuff, but I like character analysis. I like
you can easily watch a 2-hour film about just how a person reacts to a thing.
I almost need like a character arc, I need to know why they in great detail too, how they got from this point to that and that sort of thing. And so
yeah, it sounds like it's a good exploration of how did we get here, just sort of, are there like flashbacks or anything like that?
There are flashbacks.
Yeah,
there are flashbacks, and flashbacks are also good in horror, in your typical horror genre. Flashbacks are good, and there's a flashback in this that I think horror enthusiasts would like. Yeah. Another thing I want to mention about the film, I think it's very woman empowering.
Okay.
I know I say that a lot, but I find I think I anytime the woman narrative, to me, I feel like when it's very much explored, I think that is very woman empowering, because she's reflecting about her own marriage and where she was in her life, and like, is this really what I wanted? Like, is this did he want this and I just went along with it, even though we discussed it? It's like, am I yeah, because women get trapped in those roles. They get trapped in like becoming the dutiful wife and the dutiful mother, and it doesn't take away, it doesn't negate their love for their spouse or their love for their children, but I think they're allowed to feel like, hey, maybe I wanted something more than this.
My dreams and visions matter just as much as yours.
So it deals a little in that too, which is, I think, again, what I loved about the film. Very so in that regard, again, it's woman empowering. So
it sounds like there's a lot more going on than just a woman in New York.
Yes.
So your 24-hour.
I do want to mention
before we go talk about this.
I do want to mention the woman.
Okay.
She's really creepy.
Oh yeah?
Like when you actually get to see her, like when she pulls the veil, the sheer material from her face, the creepy, like all in black, everything. And you see her face, there's something really, she looks like a cross between like 1960s David Bowie and like 1980s Grace Jones.
Oh my.
Yeah, there's something like really creepy and sort of gender bending about her, and her voice is even like really creepy and gender bending. But yeah, that's another thing. That's kind of like a really cool a really really cool element in the film, I
Yee.
think. But anyway, so yes, the film
Oh
festival
yeah,
question.
so you are having a 24-hour film festival from noon on one day to noon on the next. It doesn't really matter anymore. Sometime over the weekend. Who knows? Who cares? When are you playing this?
This is a primetime movie.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you
Mhm.
think it has enough of a broad appeal to?
It's not a Midnight Madness sort of a film.
Yeah.
You know, it's because it's not there's nothing cultish about it. I don't think
Okay.
there's in it that it would appeal to like people, you know, that would, and it would have like some kind of cult following or anything like that. It's
Mm.
it's not that progressive of a movie. But it's a good suspenseful horror drama. Let's
Okay.
put it that way. I would, yeah. I think the midnight. I think people who were critics that were harsh in this film, both audience viewers and professional critics alike, I think they were expecting some kind of a Midnight Madness sort of, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, more of your typical, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cult movie sort of thing.
gore
Yeah.
fest. I don't know,
Or
something.
something just a little less about people and more about the scares.
Yes, yeah, because there's a lot in this movie that's about like the human condition, which is beautiful to me. So,
Mm.
yeah, so I would put it, at that prime time, like
Okay.
7:30, 8 o'clock.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's good to hear. Anything else we need to discuss about this film, or shall we wrap things
I
up?
think we can wrap it up.
All righty then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you out there, thank you for watching and listening to us chat about all things eerie
Yes.
and spooky.
Yeah.
So that's this episode of Bad Pop Song. Be sure to check out our website. You must do it. badpopsong.com
Yes.
for the latest episodes, links to the songs, films, whatever it is we talk about here. You'll find it there. All things Bo.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
Hey, even if you're not, just put a thumbs up, and we'll feel it through the cosmos.
Yeah.
Tune in next time when Bo continues to take us on his wondrous magic carpet ride of pop culture cringe. Until then, I'm Dan.
I am Bo.
Have fun.
Yay.